I never thought I'd see the day where $100,000 isn't enough in this economy.
And $100,000 ain't no money.
People get upset and they say, well, you know, minimum wage is da 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 da.
If you're not making $100,000 a year, you're starving.
When most people think of poverty, they picture somebody without a job. But in 2026, many of the new working poor are working full-time, paying bills, but still struggling to survive. This may surprise you. Check this clip.
Is it just me, or is 100K a year no longer enough to even live a bare minimum comfortable life? Keep in mind, I'm single with no kids and no wife, and I could still easily spend 60, 70 grand a year, which is like how much you're keeping after taxes if you make 100 grand a year. I could not imagine adding in a beautiful wife who's rightfully going to have a shopping addiction because she's beautiful, and then 2 kids who want to go to private schools, eat good quality foods, get them under insurance, take care of them, give them clothes, provide for myself, drive a nice car, live in a nice home. All of these things are so expensive that if you make 100K a year, you will not even be able to afford like half of it. And while it does suck, the answer is so simple. We just need to lock in and make more money. That's just what you need to do. It sucks, but it is what it is. So lock the fuck in, start a business, make more money.
I never thought I'd see the day where $100,000 isn't enough in this economy. That's what the news reported. That the average lower class American, they're considered lower class now if you make $100,000 a year. So if you make $100,000 a year or less, you're considered lower class. And the average person making $100,000 does not qualify to buy a home. And they possibly qualify to get on government assistance because it's just not enough in this economy. When did the American dollar start to go down? Because it's happening. The value of the American dollar has gone down substantially. And that's why the goalpost is being pushed, because as we're meeting these goals that was set, the standards that were set by our parents to get a job, go to college, we're meeting these goals and it's still not enough. I legit make more now than I ever have, and I'm struggling. Literally. Some days I still have to get out there and DoorDash, Walmart deliver, just to make ends meet. And this is a two income household. So tell me when this happened. Like when at one point $100,000, like that was more than enough in a year to survive, to go on vacation, to live comfortably. That's what I want to know. When did this become the new norm? Where $100,000 is considered low income, where it's considered not even middle class. I don't even think middle class even exists anymore.
Man, listen, $100,000 ain't no money. I really wish people would stop listening to people that say that, because personal finances, the main word in that is personal. $100,000 to them may not be no money because their lifestyle requires $100,000 or more. But there are some people that are living off of $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 that are at peace, that have some kind of freedom. I know because I work with them. I've also worked with 6-figure earners that have to be slaves to maintain that 6 figure. So don't let social media dictate what is and what isn't money for you. Find out what you value and focus and lock in on that. Because I can tell you from personal experience, $100,000 for me is a lot. I can pay up my mortgage for a year, both cars for a year, and all my monthly expenses for a year, and still have some money left over. Most people feel like they need $100,000 or more, 6 figures, is because they want a lot of stuff. Again, find out what you value and then base the income that you need in order to be able to enjoy the things that you value off of that, not off of what someone else says on social media.
Is $100,000 not an impressive salary anymore? Because in the majority of my videos where I talk about all these different professions, a lot of them make close to $100,000, if not a little bit more. I'm getting a lot of comments where people are like, that ain't, which blows my mind. Since I was young, if you told me I was gonna be making $100,000 in my 30s, honestly, I would have thought I made it. To me, back then, 100K, like that just sounded, I would have been like, you're rich, girl, you're rich. If $100,000 isn't cutting it anymore, What number are we aiming for? What would the average Canadian be comfortable making, knowing they don't have to stress about bills anymore? They can buy a house, they can go on vacation, they can live comfortably, they can live the Canadian dream. What dollar amount are we chasing now? It's definitely not $100,000 by the comments that I'm getting on my videos. Yeah, wild. The world we live in, kind of scary, to be honest. Like, can you imagine what the number is going to be for future generations?
Did you guys hear about this? In the state of California, if you make $100,000 a year, you're actually considered poor. No, I'm not kidding. Take a look here. Residents making an annual income of up to $109,700 are considered poor in some counties in the state of California. Do you remember as a kid thinking about $100,000? Do you remember what that felt like to just dream up, what if I made $100,000? And now that is being considered low income. Honestly, it just makes me curious about the state of California and its future. I mean, thinking about how insurance costs have skyrocketed in the last 12 to 24 months, it kind of makes me feel like the only people that can survive that economy are the people that are already there. Like, how can you start a life in California? It seems like impossible. You would have to have some type of wealth to have any leg up to be able to purchase a home. And I feel like for first-time home buyers, it's really just a pipe dream of owning a home unless you have a rich grandma. I don't know. I could be wrong here because I'm just a simple Alabama mortgage guy. But let me know in the comments what you guys think.
If you're not making $100,000 a year, you're starving. And even that's not a lot in this country anymore. You've got to have more than that. But it's not your fault. You weren't taught. This country has been set up to keep the poor poor and the rich rich. All the rules on how you're supposed to live life are purely designed for that. Well, luckily for you, you found Just Make the Jump. I made the jump many years ago and my life has changed dramatically. I learned a long time ago that those rules are meant to be questioned and just broken. I'm not talking about criminal activity. I'm talking about the social norms you've all been taught. Here's an example. When you get a job, you should work there 5, 6 years. Don't change too often or look bad. You'll call you a job hopper. Huh. I learned that if you've worked your job a year or two and you haven't got any substantial raises, it's time for you to get out. Here's the thing. The companies have zero interest in giving you raises, and yet they will pay someone to sit beside you and do your same job, twice your salary, because that's what the market is right there. And yet, if you don't go looking for another job, you would never get it. I found this out a long time ago, and I want to help as many people as I possibly can make the jump because I think we all deserve it. Give it a follow. I will share everything I know and everything I've done to help you do all you can to succeed and make an amazing life.
$100,000 a year is the new $50,000 a year. And next year, it's going to be worse. Pretty soon, $200K a year is going to be the new $100K a year. I mean, it's just going to get worse, right? So what does that tell us? It tells us that we can't ease up. We can never feel like we made it. And I'm sorry to break it to everybody, but we don't get to relax. Not in that way, right? Because once you get to a certain amount of income, you should always be looking to see how you can make even more. Because inflation is going to keep doing what it does, right? And people get upset and they say, well, minimum wage is da-da-da-da-da. And, they need to understand that we can't do, yes, you can't do anything on minimum wage. Minimum wage was not made for you to reach the stars. Okay? So we're not going to have that discussion. We know what minimum wage is for, and people are using it for what it's for. But at some point, something's got to change. Because if people are making $100,000 a year and feeling like it's the new $50K, I don't see why we should even discuss minimum wage. So yeah, we are in the United States where inflation is out of hand. And trust me, there are other countries where it's much worse. But if we can just stay on track and understand that we need to live within our means, we need to cut back on the excess amount of spending. Our entire society encourages to spend and spend and spend. I am no different. I struggle with not spending. Even though I have the means to spend, I struggle with it because I'm not exempt. Today you could be okay and tomorrow it's a whole nother ballgame. right? So I'm not here to pretend. Every time I touch my savings, I get nervous. I'm like this. You know what I mean? Because unfortunately, we live in a society where do we really have true security? Not so much, right? But there are some things you can do in order for you to kind of balance out your expenses. Purchase a property. Some of you, it may not be for you. Maybe some of you like to have that yearly increase in your rent every year. I don't like it, so I bought. Okay? Anyway.
If your monthly income is under $1,000, you are officially poor. If you make between $1,000 and $2,000, you are in survival mode. From $2,000 to $3,500, you are still considered low income. If you make $3,500 to $5,000, you are stable. Between $5,000 and $7,500, you are finally middle class. If you earn $7,500 to $10,000, you are upper middle class. From $10,000 to $25,000, you are a high earner. If you make $25,000 to $50,000 a month, you are officially rich. Between $50,000 and $100,000, you are wealthy. From $100,000 to $1 million a month, you are a multimillionaire. And if you make over $1 million a month, you have escaped the matrix.
This might be a hot take, but not everyone is in debt. Not everyone is struggling right now. I think there is a financial literacy problem in the country. Like, people don't know how to manage their expenses, and it shows. I work in the restaurant industry, and the fact that we are getting 100 DoorDash and Uber orders a night just shows me that you're fucking stupid with your money. Like, why are you spending money on DoorDash when you can go pick up the food and save a shit ton of money? Like, I would rather spend, instead of laying in my house being lazy as fuck, I would rather spend that money on a vacation. And if you think that, oh, it's just a DoorDash order, let's just say you spend $40 a week on DoorDash. $40 a week, that's $160 a month. That's almost $1,600 a year. That's a nice weekend vacation. That's a nice Friday, Saturday, Sunday vacation. I would rather be spending my money on memories than fucking food delivery service. Like, people are just fucking stupid with their money. I think, like, if you have kids, I'm sure you are struggling. I could not imagine. But, like, my parents do not help me out financially. I live by myself. I'm just in the restaurant industry. I live in a city where the rent is extremely expensive, and I'm still doing fine. I think people are just dumb with spending their money. Like, they spend their money on stupid ass shit. I'm like, no wonder why you're fucking broke. Not everyone is broke in this economy, but I will have to admit, I've had to penny pinch, but people are just fucking dumb with their money.